Live from WTVG Toledo, this is 13 ABC Action News.
We begin with breaking news of a rollover on I-75. Emergency crews are still on the scene of a crash on 75 South. This is all happening on the interstate near I-280 and LaGrange. Crews say a tanker rolled over around 10:30 this morning, and 13 ABC's Nicole Langley has been live on the scene all morning long. What's the latest, Nicole?
Well, emergency crews are on the scene, but what you will notice is that the wrecker is no longer on scene. About 5 minutes ago, the wrecker actually left, and no indication as to why that is. But it's going to be some time before this semi is righted up on 75 South, and this is going to be over by 280. So here's what we know. Around 10:30, this semi did roll over. Police say that the driver was going too fast coming around that I-280 northbound bend over to I-75. The driver was injured and was taken to a local hospital, but the driver is expected to be okay. But when the semi rolled over, it took with it just this stretch of guardrail that you see just kind of laying on the side of the road here. Some diesel did spill out of the semi, and we're told that the tanker was carrying what's called coke, and it's not the kind that you drink. This is actually a byproduct of coal. It wasn't flammable, it wasn't hazardous, even though the hazmat team was here and the EPA also. But nothing like that is a danger to anyone around here. They're just now waiting to clean all this up, and the wrecker hopefully will be back here shortly. But for now, I-75 southbound is still very, very slow because they only have that one lane. So you might want to consider an alternate route, maybe taking Stickney or even Detroit to get north or south here. Reporting in Toledo, Nicole Langley, 13 ABC Action News.
And we have an update to some previous traffic tie-ups in downtown Toledo. You can see a view from the Martin Luther King Jr. Bridge. The drawbridge has now closed. Back to normal here. For a while, it was stuck in the up position after a power failure caused the bridge to get stuck for about more than an hour earlier this morning, causing some traffic tie-ups. You can still see on the bridge, though. Look at that truck there. It appears that there are still some minor traffic delays happening at that light there. So if you need to get down to downtown to the east side, give yourself a few extra minutes. And some other breaking news we've been following now for several hours out of downtown Detroit, where DTE is reporting widespread power outages. ABC affiliate WXYZ says a number of city and county buildings had to be evacuated. Some people actually were stuck in elevators when the power went out. The People Mover was also shut down. This was all due to a major cable failure that affected the power grid there in downtown Detroit. All Detroit public schools have actually dismissed early to let students out affected by that power outage. We're going to keep you posted. We do understand crews are making repairs, but there's no word on how long that'll actually take. One quick note, though, Detroit Metro Airport not affected at all by these outages. Right. Okay. Well, a new partnership will give some local students a jump start on earning a college degree. TPS will join Buckeye Cable System to start offering these local kids a chance to earn college credit online. 13 ABC's Mackenzie Keilholz has more.
Sasha, for the first time starting in January, this pilot program will allow a group of students to take online courses through the University of Toledo. At this morning's announcement, TPS leaders say they will give laptops to 25 students at Woodward and Scott high schools. Buckeye will then install free at-home internet service for them. Students selected for the program must have a 3.4 GPA, teacher recommendations, and be enrolled in AVID, which is a college prep course. Students will study sociology at UT during the pilot period, and all credits earned will count towards college and high school.
Having the opportunity to take college coursework, you truly are preparing our vision of being college and career ready. So they'll receive 3 credit hours at the University of Toledo, and we appreciate the partnership that's being provided.
And when that pilot program ends in May, TPS and Buckeye will consider whether or not to expand it. Reporting in Toledo, Mackenzie Keilholz, 13 ABC Action News.
And now to a story that's new at 12:30. The World Health Organization is decreasing its tally of Ebola deaths in Liberia. The UN Health Agency says about 3,000 people in that country have now died from the disease. Last week, that death toll stood at about 4,000. A spokesperson says the number mistakenly included non-Ebola related deaths, so that explains the discrepancy. And the World Health Organization also says several countries are now becoming a little closer to eradicating this outbreak and this disease. The hardest hit country of Sierra Leone, though, still struggling at this point. The FBI has issued a strong warning to members of the U.S. military about social media and now the threat of ISIS. Want to go check in with 13 ABC's digital media manager, Rebecca Rainier. She joins us live at The Trend.
In a joint intelligence bulletin, the FBI with the Department of Homeland Security has strongly urged those who serve in uniform to scrub their social media accounts of anything that might bring unwanted attention from, quote, violent extremists, or would help the extremists learn individual service members' identities, personal information. The FBI and the DHS recommend, quote, that the current and former members of the military review those online social media accounts for any information that might serve to attract attention of ISIS and its supporters. Officials said they fear copycat attacks based on what happened in Canada last month when 2 uniformed Canadian soldiers were killed in 2 separate incidents by young men who claimed they were ISIS followers. Officials are urging members of the military to be extremely guarded on all social media accounts. That's The Trend. I'm Rebecca Rainier.
Thanks, Rebecca. It started off really windy early this morning when we were getting up for work. Then some flurries made their way through, and I guess right now the island's not so warm.
Let's check in with meteorologist Ben Cappy. He joins us in the First Warning Forecast Center. Good afternoon, Ben.
Hi, good afternoon to you as well, Sasha and Christine, and to you on this Tuesday. And it's very breezy out there, at least in a few pockets, and that's making it feel a little bit cooler. And of course, we have some flurries along with a winter weather advisory for the 4 counties down to the south and east. More on that in a few minutes. Out to live Doppler 13,000 HD we go right now. Snow showers along I-75. If you're going northbound from Toledo, you'll run into these as they're out by Detroit Beach, not too far away from Luna Pier either. West of BG, out along the Maumee River, south of Grand Rapids, right around the small enclave of Texas. You're seeing some light snow flurries too, but again, not a big concern as we want to take a quick peek out by the Bono Curve. If you're heading out towards Marblehead, perhaps, you're seeing some flurries too. On Viper, you'll see the winter weather advisories have been erased from our area for them. Actually, the entire area just happened in a live coverage right now. 22 what it feels like in Toledo. And for the rest of today, the high only 36 degrees. So the question, will we see warmth? We'll have that answer coming up in the full forecast.
It seemed like a legitimate company that offered some huge returns for a small investment.
But it turned out to be bogus. Here's Sean Haggerty with how to avoid this scam in today's iTeam Consumer Alert.
He is probably one of the best salesmen I've ever seen in my life. He was just believable.
His name is Jeff Curran, the founder and president of Gargoyles, Inc., an advanced materials application company.
The uniqueness was all cloths are woven 2-dimensionally, and he developed a method of weaving them 3-dimensionally so that when he finished making his product, it was impenetrable to bullets.
He was telling people that he had contracts with the military of foreign countries.
And he apparently knew what he was doing. In 1 year, he sold more than $1.9 million worth of stock in his company, promising returns of 10 times your investment, and it was an easy sell.
It could even be used on the outside of Humvees instead of steel. In that way, the people in the audience and I looked at it, gee, this is a great investment. We'd be helping our soldiers.
And it was all a lie. Victims then started asking questions, and they realized there were problems.
And when I went in, it was him and his secretary and a big empty building with no one working. And I thought, if he has all these multi-million-dollar orders across the world, somebody should be making the product.
There were more than 200 victims in this case. Investigators say you want to do your research before you're investing in anything like this.
If the investment is a sound investment, the opportunity will still be there for you to invest after you've had the chance to do your research, do your due diligence, and find out about the company.
Sean Haggerty, 13 ABC Action News.
And if you would like to help the I-Team, give us a call, 419-534-3838, or you can email us if you're having an issue at iTeam@13abc.com.
And we have another consumer alert to pass along this afternoon as well, involving those faulty Takata airbags. Subaru and Mitsubishi are recalling several vehicles in several southern states, and it's all related to those airbags that can explode, sending metal shrapnel onto a driver or a passenger. The recalled vehicles added to the list include 5 different Subaru models and the 2004 and 2005 Lancer small car. Meanwhile, the U.S. government is pushing for a complete national recall of any vehicle that has a Takata airbag.
Some financial experts say Black Friday was a bust for retailers, but early indications show Cyber Monday was much better, as we mentioned a little while ago. We're talking specifically for Walmart here. The superstore says Monday was the biggest online day in history. for orders. Some of Walmart's most popular Cyber Monday deals included the Apple iPad Mini and the Lego Giant Creative Tower. Still to come on Action News, it's the first of its kind for the Buckeye State.
We will tell you how Ohio Treasurer Josh Mandel says he's making state spending more accessible.
Plus, we are talking about your diet and fitness questions today on Ask the Expert. Rebecca Rainier standing by. Give her a call, 419-534-3863.
This is 13 ABC Action News with Sasha Bray and Christina Williams. Now, 13 ABC First Warning Weather with meteorologist Ben Cathy.
Well, it's certainly not the coldest air of the season, but it is the coldest air of the new month. And we're going to make our way closer to Christmas this week. Hope for the holidays toy drive this Friday here at 13 ABC. And you can donate throughout the day. We hope to see you as the entire team will be here. But as far as the weather goes, we're still tracking some flurries. So it is beginning to look and feel a lot more like the holiday season. To live Doppler 13,000 to HD we go. 30 degrees in Toledo, and on the southeast side of town, 31. So you split the difference all around town, all around the area. 31 degrees, a pretty general number out there. Uniform feel to the air as well due to that wind ever present, it seems like, right in northwest Ohio. Light snow showers lifting off to the northeast at around 10 miles per hour, and a few pockets down by BG, and then a couple of other ones up by the islands. Certainly not as present as they were early on today. To our mobile action, or live action cam we go over Oregon, East Toledo, and the traffic. The good news is it is moving after a big wreck not too far from here earlier in the day. Overcast skies. You don't need the cloud icon there to tell that, though. Look how gray it is over the action cam network. As we break this apart a little bit, you'll see that there's a wind chill to the air, a bite. Feels like 22 even at 12:44. The week ahead, very average, extremely so. It's actually more rare to see this as opposed to a roller coaster forecast, which we saw from Sunday into Monday. That is more of the typical of the season, but the average high goes down to 39 by Sunday, and we'll have a high with more sunshine on Sunday by 40 degrees. Temperature outside right now at this hour. 29 in Paulding, again, representative of upper 20s, lower 30s. A travel size predictor by the hour here for you. If you're heading out to Cleveland on business, on vacation for today, it's going to be slick. Now, this appears to be regular rain, but on the backside of this, it's tough to see a little bit of pink here, and that is freezing rain on the back edge of this system. Looking ahead to this afternoon, 6:30 p.m. into the dinner hour, briefly clearing skies, so we'll go down to touch after dinner, but temperatures should recover quickly as more clouds roll in. So think of adding an extra blanket layer onto the top of your bed, and that's what's going to happen overnight, keeping us from falling into the teens like we did this morning. Coming in closer to home, let's look at the temperatures. Not a big dip, even with strong gusty winds overnight. After midnight, gusting to nearly 35 miles per hour. Forecast for today, late day sun for a couple of hours. Not full sun, but just filtered like we saw yesterday at this time. 31 for tonight. Temperatures go flat. After a brief dip, they'll come back a little bit overnight. 40 degrees for tomorrow. Sun on and off. A better sunshine, though, than we had today. 34 and sunny on Thursday, then 42 by Friday. Warm for the ice test. We'll bring back for a third time. And then the weekend, not looking too bad after some early showers Saturday.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Ben. And from there, we're going to get a check
of breaking news that we've been following all afternoon for you. We're dealing with that situation on I-75 southbound. There was a crash earlier involving a tanker truck near LaGrange. 13 ABC's Nicole Langley, she has been live out there all afternoon with a time saver traffic update.
And I'll tell you what, it seems like every time that we have come on air, something is different. The last time we told you that the wrecker left, and shortly after that, another wrecker took its place. So hopefully this is the one that is able to right this semi. The call came in around 10:30 when the police tell us that this semi the driver was going too fast off the I-280 northbound ramp to southbound 75 when he lost control and flipped the semi right here. It was carrying coke, and it's not the kind you drink. It's actually a byproduct of coal. Hazmat crews were out here. The EPA was out here, but nothing flammable, nothing of any danger to anyone. It was just more of a precautionary measure, although the semi did leak some diesel. Traffic is down to one lane still at this point in time. Every once in a while, they have to close down both lanes to kind of rearrange the equipment that they have out here. But right now, traffic is backed up from, let's say, about 280 all the way back to Ottawa River. Maybe take an alternate route, maybe go Burdan and then jump back onto the southbound side of the interstate there. Reporting out in Toledo, Nicole Langley, 13 ABC Action News.
And straight ahead on Action News, there's a good chance you've already picked up your Christmas tree.
We'll tell you how to keep your tree looking good all the way through Christmas. New this afternoon, Ohio's treasurer has launched the Buckeye State's first online checkbook. It's a searchable website of individual state expenses that goes back to 2008. Treasurer Josh Mandel says it's his second effort to publicize financial data throughout the state. The project took about 2 years and cost $800,000.
Well, if you like a fresh Christmas tree in the house, you want to protect it from dropping all of its needles.
13 ABC's Kelly Hybrader found it's all about the base.
When you get that fresh Christmas tree, you really need to make sure it stays watered. So something like this, the Christmas tree base, is really important. I've got Duke Wheeler with me here. Now, Duke, let's talk about the base of this tree right now. Obviously, we've cut this fresh out of your farm, right?
That's correct. And if you get a tree from a cut lot, just make sure when you get home you give it another fresh cut. About an inch off the bottom will help give water absorption a better chance.
Now, a tree at the end here, of course, when we see this, these are actually like straws. So that's how it's going to soak up the water, right?
That's correct. The water actually goes right between the bark and the hard wood. So don't shave the bark off because the water won't be able to absorb up the tree.
Perfect idea. Now, we've already drilled this hole here before we leave the farm, right? And why do we do that?
Well, we do that to increase the stability in this tree stand.
Okay.
This is a new device that we have. It makes putting up trees easier.
Okay.
Some people get frustrated because they got to put nails in the wall to get it straight. You put it on this spike and it stands straight.
Okay, so and another big thing about this that I really like, two things actually. I like the fact that we have a big well for lots of water because sometimes you can get a tree to soak up at least a gallon, maybe even more a day.
That is correct. That is correct.
And I do like the fact that it's got a wider base.
The wider base creates greater stability around the dogs and when the children are running around the tree, and it works out real well.
All right, so basically we're going to put this in the end of this hole. Show me what we're doing.
We're just going to put this here, and my assistant, Evan, is going to just raise this tree up. I'm going to stay down here, make sure it's support. There you go.
There we go. Love it, and there's our perfect Christmas tree. Very nice.
And this is a fresh tree. This will be good until end of February.
Wheeler recommends checking your tree every day to make sure it doesn't run dry. Kelly Hybrader, 13 ABC Action News.
And much more to come on Action News. We're talking diet and fitness trends with Rebecca Rainier in Ask the Expert.
But first, here's a look at this afternoon's winning lottery numbers. You're watching 13 ABC, your official Ohio lottery station.
Today on Ask the Expert, we're talking with Rebecca Rainier, answering your questions about diet and fitness. Rebecca, first question, it's a good one. A viewer says, I want to quit smoking, but I'm afraid about the weight gain that I've heard a lot about. What can I do about this?
Congratulations, first of all, on taking a big step to quit smoking, a huge thing you can do for your health. The good news, though, food is going to taste better, smell better, and you're going to enjoy it more. Your senses will be just much better surrounding food, but that could maybe lead you to overeat. None of that, though, is totally a foregone conclusion. You can do some things to help. The first thing you want to do is maybe stave off the snacking. So maybe a lot of people smoke instead of snack. If you have healthy snacks, then you can maybe replace that activity to, we're talking carrots, we're talking apples, we're talking fruit. Those are ways to keep that habit going, but not kind of turn it into a bad habit. Gum is also good, and I've heard from a lot of ex-smokers that water is a kind of important aspect. If you're used to having a cigarette in the car, put a water bottle in the car with you. Do things that you can, do something with your hands because that's what you're used to when you're smoking. Another thing to try to add is lean protein. Just some options that take the edge off. Another idea, sounds kind of funny, but this is a really good suggestion, is some deep breathing. Smoking is an activity where you actually step outside and take a moment for yourself. It doesn't sound like a healthy thing to do, but that part of it a lot of people miss, and so instead they'll snack. If you still need that time out, have that time out, but just do the deep breathing or have that healthy snack. Give yourself the time you need. But again, congratulations. It is a big step, and it's a difficult step to take, but it'll be important for your health.
All right, thanks so much, Rebecca. We'll see you again soon. Tomorrow on Ask the Expert, we're talking about your health questions. Remember, a doctor will be in. You can send an email in advance, WTVG.news@13abc.com. And quickly, back to that breaking news we've been following now for about an hour. DTE reporting widespread power outages in downtown Detroit. ABC affiliate WXYZ says this was due to a major cable that failed in the downtown grid. All Detroit public schools dismissing early today. A number of city, county buildings evacuating, essentially sending everyone home because they just don't have power. The People Mover was shut down. Some folks are stuck in elevators. But the one good note here, if you're flying into or out of Detroit Metro Airport, nothing is affected there.
And one final check of some breaking news here locally. We were following a rollover crash on I-75 in the southbound lanes near I-280 in LaGrange. That's where we find 13 ABC's Nicole Langley with the final check of your time saver traffic.
Yeah, expect a slow go here on I-75 southbound near 280 after the semi rolled over around 10:30 this morning. So crews have only one lane open. You may want to stay off of this portion of 75, maybe hop on after here, after LaGrange, and take you down to Burdan to get around this. Wreckers are on scene, so we're hoping to get everything wrapped up here. But for now, avoid southbound 75 out north Toledo. Nicole Langley, 13 ABC Action News.
Quick check of your weather. 40 degrees for tomorrow. We'll see on and off sunshine, but a lot of wind for tonight, too. So after midnight, gusts to near 35. Weekend looks pretty good after early showers Saturday.
All right, thanks so much for watching Toledo's only 1 hour new newscast right here on 13 ABC.
For Christina Williams, Ben Cathy, Rebecca Rainier, Nicole Langley, and all of us here at 13 ABC, I'm Sasha Bright. We'll see you again at 5 o'clock. Breaking news updates anytime on 13abc.com.
When news breaks, it breaks here first. 13 ABC Action News.